But Alex Kincaid and Peter Lumaj, again, talking about something that really cuts to our security issues. At least that's how the president has framed this. And Peter, it comes back to keeping us safe. He keeps saying that despite the fact that this has been looked at as a Muslim ban, he says it's not the case. It's not very different from what President Obama was doing. Any clear-thinking judge, paraphrasing here, he has said, would agree with that. Not this particular judge, but what do you think of that? And then in the end, he has the legal upper hand here.
I think it does, because what happens with immigration, which is generally considered to be a foreign national policy issue, and that is always handled by the President of the United States, the courts have always supported the President having that kind of power. And this is not the first time that it's uncharted waters, but there is presidency or president in the United States where the Supreme Court sometimes did get things wrong, and the President may disagree with the outcome of those, And if you can go back to all the way back in 1800s, when Lincoln actually disagreed with the outcome in the Dred Scott case. So the president still has the power to exercise, these kinds of matters.
You know, Alex, there is the possibility here that the court doesn't rule his way, and it calls into question then anything a president can do. So now it goes all the way to your point and to Peter's point, to the Supreme Court. But if you still don't have, let's say, Gorsuch approved, you would have an 8-court member dealing with this, 8 justices.
Right.
How does that go down?
Well, it's possible at that point that we have a split decision and nothing happens. And then we have the standing order from the lower court, which, of course, may not be a good situation for people who are supporting President Trump and this ban.
So in that event, I mean, the lower court ruling rules, and if it sticks at this level and against him, what are his options, Peter, at this point? Then what would be his options ahead of getting to the Supreme Court?
Well, I think that he's going to have to go back to Congress and let the Congress of the United States handle the issue of, this kind of suspension that he's imposing right now. But I still believe that the 1952 Act, if it winds up in the Supreme Court is either going to find that the president has that power, or if they litigate the case and hear the case, I think they're going to rule in his favor, because the 1952 Act, it's still the law that was passed by Congress, enacted by Congress, specifically authorizing the president to do exactly what he's doing. And twice before this was exercised, as we said, in 1979 and 2011. And, I think that they're going to, the Supreme Court will rule in the favor of the president.
And Peter, I think it's important to point out, too, that they have in the past on very similar issues. The Supreme Court has supported the president in issuing these kinds of orders. Going back to what I said originally, this isn't that new. It's not that outrageous.
Absolutely, absolutely. What the liberals or the Democrats are arguing is that the 1965 Act made it unconstitutional for the president to base such bans on religion or any other,
well, he'd have to prove that it's not based on religion.
But this is not based on religion, and this is very clear that is based on national security issues.
I have to break you off here, but I want to thank you both very, very much.